Ravenwood was a town steeped in shadow and fear, a place where the sun seldom broke through the thick mist that clung to the ground. The town's infamous legend, the tale of the phantom train, was whispered by the brave, yet shunned by those who had lived through its terror. This ghostly train, the Midnight Express, was said to appear on stormy nights, thundering through the darkness with a chilling whistle that could freeze the blood of even the boldest souls. The Midnight Express was a luxurious passenger train that had vanished mysteriously over a century ago, along with everyone aboard. No wreckage was ever found, no bodies were recovered, and no answers were ever given. Over the years, it became more than just a ghost story. It was a curse, a spectral train doomed to roam the earth, driven by a force that no one dared to confront. Emma Holloway, a journalist with a reputation for unearthing the darkest of secrets, arrived in Ravenwood one stormy evening. She was drawn by the whispers of the phantom train, determined to unravel the mystery that had haunted the town for generations. The townsfolk warned her, pleaded with her to leave the legend alone, but Emma was relentless. Her need for the truth was stronger than her fear of the unknown. Emma's investigation began at the abandoned train station, a relic of a time when Ravenwood was bustling with life. Now it was overgrown and forgotten, a ghost of its former self. As Emma explored the station, she stumbled upon a map pinned to the wall, the paper yellowed with age. It detailed the route of the Midnight Express, but there was something strange about it. The lines seemed to shift when she looked away, and in the corner was a cryptic note, *, the portal opens at midnight, *. Undeterred, Emma returned to the station that night, just as the clock struck 12. The wind howled through the trees, and the mist thickened around her, but she pressed on. As the final chime echoed through the air, she heard it, the mournful whistle of a train. The train screeched to a halt before her, and the doors creaked open. Emma hesitated for only a moment before stepping inside, her heart pounding with both fear and determination. The interior of the train was just as the legends described, frozen in time, yet filled with a suffocating darkness. The air was thick with the scent of old leather and something far more sinister, something that crawled under her skin and whispered in her ear. As the train jolted to life, speeding into the night, Emma began to realize that she was no longer in the world she knew. The windows showed nothing but an endless void, a swirling mass of shadows and nightmares. The voices of the damned grew louder, their whispers turning into anguished cries that filled her with dread. Determined to find the source of the curse, Emma made her way through the train, encountering terrifying apparitions along the way. The ghosts of passengers stared at her with hollow eyes, their faces twisted in pain, their bodies bound by invisible chains. As she passed each car, the temperature dropped, and the walls seemed to close in on her, as if the train itself was alive and hungry. Finally, she reached the engine room where she found the conductor, a man who was no longer human. His eyes glowed with an eerie light, and his voice echoed with the torment of countless souls. He warned her to leave, to abandon her quest before it was too late, but Emma stood her ground. She demanded to know the truth, the real reason behind the train's curse. The conductor hesitated, then pointed to a door at the back of the engine room. "The captain's quarters," he said, his voice trembling. "But be warned, once you enter, there is no turning back." With no other choice, Emma opened the door, finding herself in a small, dimly lit room. In the center was an ancient chest, sealed with chains and covered in symbols of binding and protection. As she approached the chest, the train began to shake violently, and the shadows in the room seemed to come alive, swirling around her like a dark, malevolent force. Just as she reached for the chest, the door slammed shut behind her, and the room was plunged into darkness. The shadows wrapped around her, pulling her towards the chest, their whispers growing louder, more desperate. Emma fought against them, her breath coming in ragged gasps as she struggled to stay conscious. With a final burst of strength, she broke the chains and opened the chest. Inside was an old black book, a journal. As she touched it, visions flooded her mind, images of the train's final journey, of the captain's madness, and of the pact he had made with dark forces to ensure his power. The journal was the key to the curse, the source of the darkness that had consumed the Midnight Express and its passengers. But as Emma read the final entry, she realized the true horror of the situation. The journal was a trap, a binding spell that would transfer the curse to whoever possessed it. The only way to break the curse was to destroy the journal, but doing so would condemn her soul to take the place of the conductor, becoming the new guardian of the phantom train. As the shadows closed in around her, Emma knew what she had to do. She grabbed a lantern from the wall and set the journal ablaze. The flames consumed the book quickly, but as they did, the train shuddered violently, the walls cracking, the shadows screaming in rage. The train began to disintegrate, its iron walls crumbling into dust. The ghostly figures of the passengers fading into the mist. The darkness lifted, and for a brief moment, Emma felt a sense of peace. But as the last page of the journal turned to ash, Emma felt a cold hand on her shoulder. She turned to see the conductor, his face no longer twisted in pain but calm, resigned. "It's your time now," he said softly. "You freed us, but now you must take our place." With that, the conductor faded away, and Emma felt herself being pulled into the shadows. The train vanished, leaving nothing but a faint echo of its whistle in the wind. The townsfolk of Ravenwood never saw Emma again, but the legend of the phantom train only grew stronger. Some claimed to see her ghost walking the tracks on stormy nights, a lantern in hand, searching for those who dared to disturb the peace of the dead. Others believe she had become the new guardian of the Midnight Express, cursed to roam the night for all eternity, guiding lost souls to their final rest. But one thing was certain: the phantom train of Ravenwood would forever be a reminder of the darkness that lies just beyond our world, and the sacrifices made by those brave enough to face it.